So today I'm going to react to Tommy Scoville's latest video from June 22nd, 2025. It's called So Much to Talk About. I've downloaded the video, so if you want to watch here, you can watch it without giving him a view, which I think is a good idea. Anyway, I'm going to start it up. Let's see what this guy has to say.
And I got a lot of crap when I talked about this subject the last time. Come on, because I talked about Harvey Weinstein, and Harvey Weinstein's a scumbag. Make no mistake, Harvey Weinstein is a scumbag. And there were a lot of women, and probably a guy or two, that got on their knees in front of Harvey Weinstein, right, and performed oral sex on that guy so that they could get a role in a movie. By the way, for those geniuses that have never heard this phrase before, forced sodomy, right, would be oral sodomy or anal sodomy.
Can you believe he's talking about forced sodomy?
About this.
Hello? Hello? I mean, that's what we've been talking about all along.
But
sorry, gotta pause it. Yeah, I mean, that's what Marilyn has been talking about all along. Listen to this guy. Oh my God.
It was sodomy, oral sodomy in that case. Allegedly, number spiked. My subscriber numbers spiked last night. And you know, you never really understand why something like that happens. When I say that I don't watch people that do content on me, I don't. I promise to God, I don't.
Here he goes again, saying, I promise, I don't. I promise, I promise. Him and his promises. Of course he does.
But apparently, Reese did a show last night that was very kind, and I appreciate that. I really do. Jane Aldrich says, Tom.
Oh, and there we go again. Talking about Reese. Oh, she's so kind. She did a show about me. Jesus, Reese. Oh my God. Just she can't stop herself, can she? Oh my God.
Tommy, I love it when you cheer on the internet connection. Many of us are doing the same thing. Yeah, it's a little dicey here. It really is. You get it's hit or miss, but I appreciate your patience. If it goes dark, stick around. It usually comes back within a few seconds. It does become. I do honestly appreciate Reese doing that. I have been pretty open and honest from Jump Street. I don't hate Reese. And
oh my God, these two, Jesus. Reese, I thought he was gonna come and kill you. I thought you were worried about that. But no. Oh, Tommy, you're so sweet. He's such a good guy. Oh my God. These people.
For those of you who really bum out about that, I hate what she did. Right? I hate what she did. But I don't hate her. I can't be that person. I've never been able to love someone on a Monday and hate him on a Tuesday.
The reason he doesn't hate Reese, quote unquote, is because he knows Reese has lots of other dish on him, for sure. There's no way. She knows where the bodies are buried to some extent, and she's probably got more recordings of him. Who knows? But she's got something on him. I know it.
Good Lord, I wish I was that person, but I'm not. Never have been. I love my first wife. I still do. I always do.
I'm such a good guy. I'm just so full of love.
Every day. That's the truth. The justice system is a
unless you stop
circle.
giving me money.
I do believe most judges are definitely for the prosecutor. They are. And I'll tell you something. I have seen it the other way. I've honestly seen it go in the other direction. There are judges who are in the tank for the defense every single time. 90% of the time, it's because these people worked as public defenders and worked their way through the system. So they still have kind of a love for that part of the law. And it sucks one way or the other, right? They're supposed to call balls and strikes. They're not supposed to pick winners. And unfortunately, Auntie Bev really tried to pick a winner, right? When the second trial came around and the defense said, we would like to put into the, before they go into deliberation, we want to give them a chance to say, okay, we're going to find them guilty on this or that or the other. Because the first trial, she was found not guilty on the murder charges. charged a second time. That, folks, is called double jeopardy. Any way you want to shake it. They got creative. They did whatever. It's double jeopardy. Hey, Tommy, I keep missing you live. I want to leave the country, but Suboxone issue. How are you able to get your Suboxone while there? Different laws. Yeah, there are different laws. And I don't want to say anything right now that would bum anybody out, right? The truth of the matter is this: I am getting a shot instead of Suboxone. I am taking Sublocade. So it is a shot that you only have to get once a month. And you can get it in this country. You have to go to a doctor. You have to go through a process. They're not going to write you a prescription for Suboxone that you can get at a pharmacy. You can find a doctor that will give you Sublocade in this country. That is possible. So you have to make a change. And I actually made that change prior to leaving the U.S., just in case it didn't react well with me. Sublocade. Jesse Brown, great to see you, man. Glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here, man. I really am. Referees often are biased, unfortunately. Ashley, you're right. You're absolutely right. But Metric, I would look into the country that you're going to, because a lot of the stuff that you're going to hear is going to be BS, right? For instance, before we expatted, we did a lot of research, and I would go to these expat forums, and they would list 600 drugs that you're not going to be able to get in this country, right? So, God forbid you have, a disease, or you have something that you needed to be treated with. And I'm not talking about narcotic stuff. I'm talking about.
So basically, Tommy's admitting that he'd been planning this trip for quite a while, um, and telling his audiences he's going to go to Diddy and all that. So yeah, he's a bullshitter. I think he's he got a little scared in the US. That's my guess. I mean, I don't know if there's authorities looking into him or what, but I think he definitely had some concerns. He's been definitely been thinking about this move for quite some time.
Tommy, I'm glad you're standing up for yourself with Maryland. Your past deserves to be the past.
Standing up for yourself, like as though Marilyn is giving false accusations. This is so ridiculous. Your past deserves to be your past. It's not the past, people. Come on. He's doing it right now. These people have no idea what he does. You can tell. It's just so obvious.
I'll tell you something, people. And I'm not going to go the tit for tat and fire back like that woman does. She's an idiot. Anytime somebody says,
I'm not going to go tit for tat like I always do.
Something about her, she's got to make another video. And I love that. I do. I love that. Keep going. Just keep on going.
Yeah, she's going to keep going, Tommy.
Some of the things that people have said, like somebody wrote to me and said, you have a lawyer that would come on and talk. What lawyer would ever go on YouTube? How stupid is that? Are you kidding? Do you not watch true crime? I could rip off 5 or 6 names right now of attorneys.
Yeah, Tommy, those lawyers go on with known YouTubers, big true crime YouTubers, you idiot. They're not going to go on with you, a client. Hello?
That have 500,000 subscribers and still take cases, right? I have been on Surviving the Survivor a dozen times, right? I don't know, maybe less than that. Been on Surviving the Survivor a lot. I don't think I was ever on it once when there wasn't an attorney on. Did we sell the house in?
Yeah, Tommy, that's a big channel. They have attorneys on. It wasn't your attorney, you retard.
Arizona. The house in Arizona is being rented, actually. We are currently renting the house in Arizona.
Oh my God, we're renting the house in Arizona. So you just put your mom out? It's not her house? Oh my God, this guy never stops.
We will most likely put it on the market. The reason that we're renting it is we're renting it to a family member currently. If Canali.
Oh, so you rented to Mama. It's your house. I see, Tommy. I see. And you're just currently, you're gonna put it on the market because Mama doesn't need a place to live. Yeah, got it. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know how in the long con video, Tommy was talking about some of the amounts he was getting from women so he can sustain, quote unquote. I don't know what that means, his habit, his life, whatever. But that that indicates he doesn't have a ton of money, right? The fact that he's constantly trying to get money out of these people. I don't believe he owns that house.
You know what? My past is my past. And yeah, oral sex happened. It wasn't anal sex.
Oral sex happened. It's not sex, Tommy, when someone says no. Like, why can't we get this through these people's heads? I mean, she showed the documents. This woman did not consent. Hello. I mean, Marilyn goes over this a lot. I don't want to step on her toes, but this is just so ridiculous. Your past is your past. Tommy, again, he's not addressing the long con video, like I said. He just keeps going back to this. It's his straw man argument. He won't address the fact that on that video, he said he relieves women of their money who don't deserve the money. He deserves it somehow. Oh my God, this guy.
Sodomy. It was oral sodomy, and it happened. To defend yourself, you got to go into court and say, let me explain how this happened. When you do that, they say you are then guilty of statutory rape. Because at the time in the state of Vermont, statutory rape, a boy could be 15 and have intercourse or sexual contact with a woman 17 and still be charged with statutory rape. It's not that way anymore, but
Yeah, that's not what happened. Stop, you're lying. When your lips are moving, you're lying. That is not what happened. The evidence is out there. The reports are out there. Come on, you. Oh, God.
was in the 80s. Another genius wrote, the reason you don't have to register as a sex offender is because the sex offender registry didn't come into existence until 1996. It came into existence in 1994. And
see, this is what he does. He just goes on all these little details. It's subterfuge of the issue of the real topic, which was SA. He did SA, someone didn't consent. And then he just goes into all these little points that people bring up, and it's just nonsense.
It has been litigated all the way to the Supreme Court dozens of times. If you had committed a rape in 1970, you still have to register as a sex offender. It is a retroactive act. Nobody does any research. I'll tell you what, AI kicks ass.
Nobody does any research. This is true. The people who are watching you and believing you don't do any research. And more than that, they plug their ears and shake their heads. And they're like, I don't want to hear it. When someone puts a paper in front of their head, their face, that says he was charged by someone who said she did not consent.
Ass for all of you who think that this Marilyn Honig thing, and this is the last thing I'm saying about this woman because she's
last thing I'm saying.
But if you think that I don't have a case, if you think that the things I'm saying are BS, go to AI and say someone has called someone a child molester.
I can't believe he's talking about AI. Go to AI. Like, this is ridiculous. For one, AI is wrong all the time. I don't know if you guys know about that, but they're officially called hallucinations. And if you just go and Google AI hallucinations, you're going to get a million articles from reputable sources about this. AI is wrong a lot.
Right? How are they going, and they get sued, what do they have to do? And AI is going to say, they're going to have to go into court and prove you're a child molester. So she's going to need to prove that I had sex with a child when I was over the age of 18. She likes to...
Yeah, this is what he always focuses on, this accusation of being a PDF file. And, saying that that talking about the ages and stuff, he just won't, he grabs onto that because you can argue that detail. You know what I mean? You can say, I was young, she was young, blah, 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 just regardless of the law. But he won't address the issue that it was a non-consensual sexual assault.
Wave the document that says, see this? This was 1989. He was born in 1970. That makes him 19. So he's a child molester. I went to court in 1989. Okay? Yeah. the alleged incident happened in 1986, and she
You didn't just go to court in 1989, Tommy. She got wired and she got you to admit to it, and you were stalking her in her new job during this time. So you didn't just go to court, dude. Stop lying. Stop your lying.
acknowledged that in a video. Thank you for that, by the way. When she said Tommy's a liar, he said that he wasn't the same. He was a year older than her. He was 16. She said that out of her dumb mouth. Honestly, that was the clip that someone sent to me that caused me to hire an attorney. Right? You know damn well that I wasn't an adult, yet you continually call me a child molester. So you're going to have to prove it. That's it. It's the bottom line. And another person said, why would you?
He won't say, you continually accuse me of sexual assault, because he knows he can grab on to the other headline and nitpick at that instead of going to the root of the issue, unconsensual SA.
You ever come on and say it first? Because I can't lose, number one. And number two, I know she's going to double down. I know she's going to keep doing what she does. And you know what? That's awesome. That's awesome. It really is. So let's stop talking about her, really, because honestly, folks, she is a woman who every view she gets is shitting on other people. If you go and look at Social Blade, she averages about 600 views a day, somewhere in there. Those views have been a lot more lately, right? She's killing it. You know why she's killing it? Because paralegals and attorneys are going through all of her stuff. Yep. For real. And the fact that I can't.
Yeah, Tommy, paralegals. So you've hired someone already and they're going through all of her stuff. You're so full of shit. Stop your lying.
Came out here and said I'm going to sue her, sent a lot of other people over there to see if she actually called me a child molester. And, you know, she can go ahead and take them all down now if she'd like. It's not going to change anything. But let's stop talking about her. She's a waste of time. She really is. She does not create content. She doesn't. She craps on other people. And you know something? To give somebody crap for something that they...
She tries to help other people find justice, Tommy. Unlike you.
Did in their past. This is a woman who may have a case of her own. And I'm not going to say anything ugly. Thank you, my brother.
Oh, really? Nice try. Nice try.
I really appreciate you. Good man. Yeah, allegedly, like that word? Allegedly, she's a child abuser. Allegedly, there's a case out there that you can look up. Allegedly, there's also a video of one of her kids talking.
Wow. So I don't believe that he believes this. I think that he's putting this out there for his audience just so they can let it stew and think, oh, is he telling the truth? He probably is. Oh my God, what a horrible woman she is. Like, they're not going to look for evidence, these people watching, because they haven't thus far.
People who live in glass houses probably shouldn't throw rocks. I don't do this shit, right? This is disgusting. I don't do it. Hey, Mom.
I don't do it? What are you talking about, dude? That's all you do is abuse people.
Good to see you. SoCal, what's happening? I don't do this. It makes me sick. So let's get back to real business.
He's a pathological liar.
I left America, and I love America. I promise you I do. But I left America for a better life. Our judicial system, as messed up as it is, do you know why that there are people out there getting, hey, Laura Lee, you know why there are people out there getting abused as badly as they are? Because every single time a jackass from the internet calls someone up and says, hey, Tommy Scoville is smuggling GHB across the border up his anus, right? They have to investigate this. GHB is a liquid most of the time. I've never seen it in any other form. But apparently I was putting that liquid up my butt. When you cross the Mexican border, they scan your passport, right? How hard would it have been for them to just look and see how many times I had actually been to Mexico, right? But they still got to call me. They still got to bust my balls. They still got to investigate it. They still got to reach out to people on YouTube, right? And I refuse to talk to them, right? I'm not stupid. I was a convict. I'm not talking to you. You want to talk to me? Screw you. What you want to do is build a case against me. I'm not going to talk to you. And I finally got a phone call where a guy said, listen, man, you're going to talk to me. You don't have to say a word. Just listen, because I'd like to close your file. I said, go ahead. And he said, I have nothing on you. Nothing, right? There's obviously a lot of people that hate you, and I don't know why, but there is a campaign because we're getting a ton of phone calls. Well, that's great, isn't it? Right? That's great. That's what that officer ought to be doing, right? Another one, I was accused of human trafficking. Now, you can hate me all you want, man, right? I'm a convict. I was a con man. I've admitted to all the things I've done. Go ahead and freaking hate me. But you think I'm smuggling kids?
Straw man argument. Straw man argument alert.
I mean, holy shit. But if you report to Homeland Security that somebody is involved in human trafficking, trust and believe they have to research it, which means that they're not researching someone who probably is involved in human trafficking. I apologize, honestly, that I even had to come on and talk about the stuff with what's her name, Marilyn. It's embarrassing. It really is. I have talked about content creators in the past. I stood up for them.
Talking about Maryland again.
While other people trashed them. If you ever come across anything I did talking about a content creator, it was me defending them. Oddly enough, those same people trashed me the first chance they got to get views out of it. But you live and you learn, don't you? Right? Kind of how it works. You live and you learn. And I'll tell you something. You may not believe this, but I'm happier today than I can remember being in my life. This was a great move for me. It really was a great move for me. Aside from the fact that it looks like paradise, right? It's just blue water, and we moved here in the winter. This is what we call the off season, right? This is the winter, and today's cold. What is it, about 65 out there today, or something like that? It'll hit 75. It's almost 75 every day, all the time. In the hot season, it'll get up to about 85 and 90. But it is almost always 75 degrees. It kind of reminds me of San Diego a little bit. I've never been to San Diego when the weather wasn't perfect, Laura Lee Smith, thank you. It's all right. Honestly, it is. You know something, folks? I've done enough terrible shit in my life that I deserve a lot of what happens to me. For real. And I don't go after people that talk about me for the terrible things that I've done in my life, because I was dumb enough, brave enough, honest enough, whatever you want to call it, to come here and tell everybody everything about me. I've done it on other shows. I've been very open. I've been very honest, right? I am what I am. And I probably deserve a lot of what I got in life. I certainly deserved every single friggin' prison sentence I ever got. I didn't go to prison for what this woman keeps talking about from the 1980s. Trust and believe, rape puts you in prison.
Here he goes again. Bullshitting. How can we break this down? How can we do it? How can we make people understand?
But I didn't do a day in prison for any of that shit. But she knows that. She does. What she's doing every day is lying. She comes out and she just, but it's how you make a living. Because if it isn't me she's beating on, it's Reese. If she's not beating on Reese, she's beating on Aaron one day and then not the next or whatever. Like, her entire show is, I'm going to crap on this person. I'm going to crap on that person. And if that's your get down, dig it, man. Dig it. Stephanie says, hi, Tommy. I'm just catching up after a couple of months. You look so happy. Where are you? I am in Salinas, Ecuador, which is my new home. I like your rule that you talked about not talking about other creators. I'm committing to this as well. I think it's an entirely different situation that
a rule that he constantly breaks.
You're in right now with the other creators. It's true. This I was not given a choice on this one. I really wasn't. That sucks. It sucks. But if we don't occasionally say, you know what, this is the one. This is the one, right? That there are 30 people I could sue for saying the exact same thing, right? But only one of them went on one.
No, Tommy, there's not 30 people you could sue.
Day and said, I got money. I can afford a lawyer. Take a shot at me. I got money. Okay.
Yeah, she
All
never
right.
said that.
Careful
Marilyn never said she had money. You're lying again. When your lips are moving, you're lying.
what you wish for, right? Careful what you wish for. I'm not going to bother suing someone who lives on government assistance, right? Seriously, can't feed his family, doesn't have a job, hasn't had one in years. Why? Yeah, it's not going to damage them at all. See, what would happen is I would pay a lot of money, and then they would not show up in court. I'd get a default judgment, and I can't put a lien on somebody that gets government assistance. You know, what am I going to do? They get $800 a month or $1,200 a month. I'm going to take $50 of it. I'm not going to waste my time or my effort on that. And also the number
Right, Tommy, because it's all about the money for you. If you were honest, suing someone would be about clearing your name, but you want the money, don't you?
of views those people get. But a monetized channel that makes money off of it, as my people started to look through her stuff, it's astounding that she only gets views when she trashes people. If she puts Reese as the in the thumbnail, or she puts me and Reese in the thumbnail, it's the only time she gets views, which means that she is intentionally doing this to make money. They love that in court. They love that in court. They really do. Stephanie says, Ecuador, fantastic. So happy for you. In ways, it's very modern, and in ways, it's 1950, right? Like you go and you check into a hotel in America and they say, I need to see 3 forms of ID. You got a credit card I'm going to put on. In Ecuador, you come in and you say, do you have a room? They say, yeah, I do. It's $25.
Uh-huh. They don't ask for ID at hotels in Ecuador, so you can use fake names. That's great.
You take the money out, you go to hand them ID or anything else, they hand you the key before you fill out. There's no papers to fill out. They point to the room and tell you the room number. It's very, very different. You know, it's just bizarre is what it is. It's absolutely bizarre. I took a cab ride, right? And the only thing
Makes you wonder, is he there under the Brett Miller passport or did he have another passport? I don't know. That's just speculation. Having a second passport and another name's pretty advanced. I don't know if he has those capabilities, but you never know.
I know the haters are going to call Ecuador and say, hey, you got this guy there. He's a human trafficker. He's this, he's that. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Because I don't know how much you guys know.
Is that a challenge, Tommy? And I don't think we need to say you're a human trafficker because you know that's the straw man argument again. We're going to say you're a con man. And I don't think people are going to ignore that. I lived in an expat community in Mexico for 12 years, and people on the expat websites take those warnings seriously.
About Ecuador, but if you remember the name Julian Assange walked into an embassy, the Ecuadorian embassy, right, in Great Britain, in the UK. And the UK wanted him, right? The United States wanted him. And the Ecuadorian said, no, you're not coming in here to get him. He's on Ecuadorian soil and we will protect him. And he was accused of some rank shit, which, by the way, turns out that was probably trumped up, right? That rape charge doesn't look like it's holding up. Looks like it was just a way to try to get the guy. And again, we get this thing.
Tommy, you're not fucking Julian Assange. Oh my God.
Especially in America, where we go, he's such a bad person that it doesn't matter what we got to do to put him away. And you know what? That scares the shit out of me. Because I'm living in a place where people are calling the DEA and telling them I'm smuggling drugs. People are calling Homeland Security and telling them I'm smuggling humans. They're calling the local police to tell them I'm a drug dealer or that I'm raping people, right? Like all of this. So think in your head. These people get together 5 or 6 times a year to do interagency stuff. Hey, I'm working on this, you're working on that. And they go, hey, who's this guy Scoville?
Yeah, I think he's just proving that he was running scared because he's claiming that people are calling all these agencies. I wouldn't know if that's true or not. But yeah, he was nervous and I think that's why he left.
Miller, everybody. I got 25 phone calls again. Right? All it takes is one guy to go, oh, so he's a scumbag, but we got nothing on him. Let's get him, right? It says the lifeboat on his license plate. We'll pull him over and we'll throw a quarter ounce of dope in his back seat. You know, and that's all it would take, for real. That's all it would take. Hillary made up the R charge on Julian Assange. How about that? Right? How about that? It happens. By the way, I'm not saying that the girl made up a charge about me from 1986. That happened. Never denied that, right? Never denied that. So if anyone says that I did, I talked about this on the show so much I could vomit about it. But I never denied that that happened. It did happen.
Yeah, Tommy, you have denied it. You said it was oral sex. That's denial. It wasn't oral sex. It was sexual assault, non-consensual, Tommy.
That was weeks ago.
That was weeks ago.
I'm partying now.
We're in Ecuador now. But this is a place that that protects its people, and one of the things that we did before coming here was to make it very clear that we're not on vacation, right? We actually went to the consulate in Phoenix to start the process. We did not have an embassy in Arizona, but if any of you are in Arizona and are thinking of coming here, there is a consulate in Phoenix, and some of the kindest people you will ever meet in your life. And they're not going to BS you. I learned a lot more from them than I did from any of the platforms that we went on where you could talk to expats and all that, because you get a lot of BS. You really do. You get a lot of people that they may not even live there, right? They're just on the forums having fun because that's how trolls and people are. But it was they really helped a lot in the process. Tammy, thank you. I appreciate that. Tammy says, hey, I resubscribed. I'm so glad you were doing well and you were going to stop the lies that MH is spreading. You know what? Her days are numbered. I'm telling you, they are. I mean, she may decide to keep her
Really? Her days are numbered, Tommy? Really? Maybe your days are numbered, dude.
channel after this is all said and done. I'm doubting it. I'm doubting it. But I'll tell you this too. In any other kind of suit like this, there are options, a crap load of them. And one of them would just be to say, take your channel down, delete it, and do an apology video first, and we'll call this even. No mother loving chance. None. If it was an accident, if it was an oversight, but to come on and say, he lied, he was 16, right? And then say, look, he's 19. She knows what's up. Literally lied. So she wants to do that's all good. And she will deal with what happens. But Tammy, thanks for coming back. It means a lot to me. And again, a shout out to Reese. And I know that there are a lot of people on the boat that hate Reese. You know what? Hate sucks. I promise you. It doesn't make any of us a better person. It doesn't.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my stream. I know it's not enjoyable watching Tommy, but it's good to know what he has to say, right? All right, see you next time.